how you awake our sleeping sword of war, we charge you, in the name of God, take heed. For never two such kingdoms did contend without much fall of blood.
This is the Crooked Figure Theater, rehearsing for an upcoming production of Henry V, continuing a long tradition for the NAU Theater Department.
NAU Theater's summer stock has been around for a very long time, since Clifford White was here in the 60s and the 70s, and it has taken on various forms throughout the years, from Shakespeare festivals to children's theater tours to what we're doing today.
This production of Henry V demanded the right setting, and director Christina Gutierrez-Dennehy knew that finding the perfect location was essential for the story. Enter Steve Segner, owner of the El Portal Hotel in Sedona, who worked with NAU's theater department to fulfill that need.
So I wanted to build an arts and craft, turn-of-the-century hotel that you would have found as a traveler about 1902. So everything in the hotel is authentic, the furniture, the artwork, even the wood came off a bridge trellis crossing the Great Salt Lake in 1902. You can look at it, it's not a 1980 building, it's not a new modern building, it's authentic. I think it may not be 15th century, but it's also not 1980. Our courtyard is a courtyard like you would find in England or in Spain.
However, this telling of Henry V would be a different experience for the audience, both on a personal as well as an aesthetic level.
My background is in site-specific work, which is in theater that doesn't happen in a dark room where you have to buy a ticket and sit still in a seat. So moving from a rehearsal room out into the hotel and figuring out how the show tracks through the space and the audience tracks through the space and how we're moving the story as we're moving the actors in the audience has been fun, but it is a challenge of this kind of work.
God, 3 or 4 times.
What I like to say is there's no perfect seat. If you want to see everything, you have to invest in the show and move with us. Henry V is a really big story. It's a big story about a big lot of history that isn't American history. So I think the biggest challenge any director faces in staging Henry is finding a way to make it speak to an American audience. And one of the ways we address that is by casting Grace as Henry.
Who are the late commissioners?
I want, my lord. Your Highness bade me ask for it today.
That's what I said is, let's cast a body we're not used to seeing in the role of king. I know, you know, we talk a lot about queens and Queen Elizabeth and what that means, but what does it mean to have a female body as a king? And that actor, Grace, and I have worked a lot with what insecurities does this female character have in this position of power, and what does she have to do to justify the fact to herself and to her, both her followers and her enemies, that she's the rightful king, that she's powerful, that she can lead this country.
For Grace Novak, exploring that aspect of her character was a satisfying challenge.
One of the greatest rewards in playing the character is every time we do the show, it's playing this character who is constantly trying to prove herself to the men around her as well as herself, and really getting that journey down and making it cohesive and consistent every time that I do the role.
In the future, NAU's summer theater troupe will continue performing at different locations off campus, giving each show a distinctive atmosphere.